Yes, well, thank you. The Army chose me. I was drafted. I got my greetings, and prior to December when I actually went in, I think that the greetings arrived where I was living in Guthrie. I believe it was around about a month ahead of that, about November. So I felt honored that the United States government and also the Army portion. I felt like it was selection. I felt like so I felt there was a worthy cause, and they sent me to Fort Polk, Louisiana for basic training and AIT training, and accomplished that with the help of a lot of sergeants, especially sergeants. And but anyway, after leaving there, before leaving there, rather, they asked for volunteers to go into Airborne. And so my first question was, well, I have to will it be added extra time on my service career? And they said, no. All you got to do is just pass the qualification PT test, and which I did. And so arriving at Fort Benning, Georgia for the Airborne training jump school, it was very good. I not only accomplished the physical training, but I saw within that I accomplished a lot of mental alertness training in there, along with my other buddies that were alongside me. And upon leaving there, well, they said, okay, I was needed elsewhere in the other parts of the world, namely Vietnam. And I didn't know too much about Vietnam. Just had casually heard about it. So they sent me over by ship by the USS St Patrick. It was a merchant marine troop carrier ship, and developed a lot of relationships with other GIs, and that was real good. Stopped in Hawaii for about a 10-hour layover, and I got to go and visit Hawaii, the only time in my life I ever got to visit Hawaii. That was good. And got back on the ship, and we traveled further in the journey to Guam. I had about an 8-hour layover there, and got to go aboard and that little island, see a little bit of that land, and it was good. And got back on the boat, and then they started our journey again to Okinawa. And for guerrilla warfare training, about 30 days. And that was very educational. 30 days is not adequate training for jungle warfare training. I learned just enough to get myself really killed. That's from my perspective. But it was valuable, though, even with saying that. And anyway, after about 30 days, well, then they flew me on by aircraft C-130, I along with some others. And arriving at Vietnam, it was extremely hot. Now, and while I was in Okinawa, that was hot also. They were in the Orient, so it was very, very hot. Arrived there in Vietnam, I believe it was August or September of 1965. The main body of my unit I was with, 173rd Airborne Brigade, had already arrived there in the month of May of 1965. The first time that setting foot on that land called Vietnam, I was out helping string concertina wire. The rest of the body of the brigade was up in the highlands called Pleiku.